Good morning. The word says that if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all men liberally. That includes women and that includes us as moms. So today we're going to go to the source of wisdom, the word of God in the book of Proverbs, and we're going to ask the Lord's wisdom and seek his wisdom for ourselves as women, wives, mothers, and we're going to take that word and hide it in our hearts. We're endeavoring to go through the book of Proverbs, one chapter a day, 31 Proverbs, 31 days of January. So this is part two, chapter two, of the book of Proverbs. So let's get into it. We're going to read portions of the chapter just to give you a little format. We're going to read as we're reading. We'll stop and make commentary or give definitions as needed, and we'll go through the entire chapter that way. And it won't take very long, but we'll get through it, and let's dive in. We're reading the book of Proverbs, chapter 2. We are reading from the King James Version. I'm going to just hold my Bible up a little bit here. Okay. My son, Proverbs 2. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine heart unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasure, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. I love that. That's right there. Verse 5, how it's giving the responsibility to seek that wisdom is on us. We have to be the one to cry after knowledge, to lift up our voice for understanding. Put in that effort, that energy. Seek her as silver. Wow. Search for hid treasures. So many treasures in the word. Verse 6. For the Lord giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Wow. The Lord giveth wisdom. He is not withholding wisdom. I love that. Shows the character of God. He is not hiding. He is not concealing. He gives wisdom. And then out of his mouth, we're verse. Well, let me see. What verse was that? Verse 9. No, I'm sorry. He layeth up sound wisdom. Oh no, that was just verse 6. The Lord gives wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. Out of his mouth he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. A buckler is a type of shield, the type of guard around you, like a shield. He keepeth, verse 8, he keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the ways of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant to thy soul, then discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. That word, verse 11, that word discretion, it seems to be a very overlooked term, overlooked character trait these days, but how important it is. And discretion is knowing what to say and when, how to go in and out among people, how thinking ahead about what you're going to say. How is this going to affect the situation? How is this going to affect the person? If what I'm going to add to this conversation or to this situation, is this going to lead to a good outcome, or is this just me kind of just throwing myself out there because I just got to say what I got to say, or is what I'm adding, is this really adding to the conversation? That's discretion. When do we get discretion? Going back up to verse 10, it says, when wisdom entereth into thine heart. Okay. And when knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. When you are in walking in God's wisdom, he'll let you know. Discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee. Verse 12, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things. Froward meaning perverse things, um, kind of like tricky things, you know. Uh, Discretion shall preserve thee. Well, how is it? What is that preservation going to look like? To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness. This is who you're going to be delivered from. Who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked. There are this can apply to so many different layers of life, right? People that are have a a continual practice of seeking frowardness. They leave the path of uprightness. They're walking in darkness. They rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked. They delight in that perverted way of operating. They look forward to seeing more of it. Okay, this is who you'll be delivered from. To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsake the God of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither they that hold the path, neither take they hold on the path of life, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men. Okay, so that's the second person that you'll be guarded from. The froward, the strange woman, and then the evil man. And women need to be delivered from both, just like men need to be delivered from both. Right? This is not that strange woman. It is kind of leaning that conversation towards talking to a man, that strange woman, but there are strange women and men that come into our lives, across our paths. Strange meaning they are inappropriate for you. They are not the one. Okay. They are not the chosen people to be in your life. That strange person, okay, that flatters with her lips, who is who is seeking to use words to what do I want to say? Kind of like to cover the sneakiness, right? To cover that dagger, right? That's underneath that term, that conversation. Okay, not someone whose flattery is different than complimentary, right? That's something to keep in mind. Like, flattery is different than giving a compliment. Flattery is seeking to kind of overinflate that good thing to kind of put you at ease so that there's something on the other side of that. A compliment, sharing a good blessing with you, pointing out a good character trait, showing out pointing out a good, some good action that you have performed. Being, complimentary is different than being flattering. So just being mindful of that, men and women can do both of those. So this is where wisdom comes to deliver you from this person. Okay. And verse 20, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous. Now, this is what discretion is going to do for you. This is still talking about how discretion is going to preserve you, and how understanding is going to keep you. It's going to keep you from that evil man, the strange woman, and then it's going to allow you to walk in the way of good men, verse 20, and to keep the paths of righteousness. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So that is Proverbs 2 for today. We see a lot of pointing out of relational insight, relational understanding. So, as moms, guarding our relationships, guarding our children, sharing with them how to be alert to flattery, to what's the to froward words. This is a challenge, but guess what? The Lord has already laid up sound wisdom. He's already laid up the sound wisdom right here for us to be able to stand in these days. So may the Lord bless the reading of his word as we read it and reread it into our hearts. And you have a blessed day. And we will look back to seeing you tomorrow for Proverbs 3. God bless.